5 more sips. Ah, boiling hot coffee. Boiling hot coffee. That's what I have. That's what it's come to in my life. Boiling hot coffee. That is what, those are the cards that I have been dealt. Boiling hot coffee. Let me just get all this stuff right. All my entire setup here is, it's not right. Okay, I think we're good to go. We're good to roll. We're good to do what we do from time to time, which is do a podcast. I might need to scooch it over a little bit. Because we got to have the microphone in the right spot. That's a little bit better. That feels more like it, even if I'm not in the middle of the gosh dang it. This is just not professional whatsoever in the slightest. You buy the equipment, you buy the other equipment, you buy so much equipment. You need so many equipments to accomplish a successful podcast. And then if the talent can't get his act together, you won't have something to pull together, to pull and make into a beautiful piece of art. Which is ultimately what we're trying to do here at the end of the day, is make a beautiful, wonderful, undeniable piece of art. Sorry, I've been gone for a minute, okay? It's been a minute since I've done one of these things. I need a little bit of time to get settled back into it. It only takes me approximately 3 minutes to get settled back into it, and we are ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of Taylor Neely Show. I am your host, Taylor Neely. Thank you for joining me today. It's another rip-roaring Wednesday evening, July 24th, 2024. I'm glad you're here. A lot has been going on. We've had about it's been about 2 weeks since we've done a podcast, and it's good to be back, good to be sitting in the chair. I hope I didn't miss anything big. I hope I didn't miss anything important in the world while I was gone. Because you know me, when I'm not podcasting, I'm laying in my bed. I'm laying in my bed, shooing the night away until the next podcast can happen. Just kidding. I know there's so much that's been going on in the world. It's been a wild, rip-roaring time, not in the good way. It's been a rip-roaring time in the way of like you ripped your pants and you roared so hard you lost your voice. That's the kind of time it's been going on. Ripping and roaring in the good way. Ripping like you're like ripping cigs. That's the good way. Ripping cigs is the good way. Roaring and roaring like a lion. Like that was more like a scary monster, but you get the point I'm trying to make. It's that there's a positive rip-roaring and a negative rip-roaring. And recently, the world in the past 2 weeks since the first presidential debates has been rip-roaring in a bad way. But not as bad as it could have been. We could have had Donald Trump could have been shot dead, and he was not. And that's probably for the best. I know some people wish he was dead. Lots of people wish he was dead. I don't wish he was dead. I don't wish Joe Biden was dead. I don't wish any of them. I don't want anyone to die. Let's make that clear right now. I don't want a single person to die. Political violence is bad. It is bad. It is kind of fun to see the chaos, though. There is a morbid part of me that does get off on seeing chaos happen. Stuff, the society kind of crack and crumble and fall apart a little bit, but not all the way. Not all the way, because honestly, I couldn't handle it. I like my luxuries. I like my things. I like my stuff. I like my schedule. I like my life. I like doing what I want when I want to. And if former President Donald Trump had gotten shot, it does seem like maybe civil unrest might have happened. And we don't want civil unrest. I know some of you communists out there, you want civil unrest. You want the revolution and an uprising to happen. But do you really? Is that what you really want? Come on. Come on. Be an adult. You're being a baby. Come on, grow up. You don't want that. You'll get hurt. You know what happens in an uprising, a revolution? People get hurt. People die. And have you thought that out? Have you thought out that far ahead that people will get hurt and die? We don't want that. It's thunderstorming outside. It's thunderstorming outside. It's raining. It's raining cats and dogs at the same time. Woof, woof, meow, meow. It's doing both of those things at the same time out of the sky. It's good to be here. Good to be sitting in this chair. What do we want to talk about today, man? I've been away for a minute. A lot has happened today on social media for me. I've been doing this thing, trying to grow those followers, trying to grow those likes, those comments. It's all fruitless. It's all for nothing. It's all pointless. It doesn't matter the amount of followers I have online because society is crumbling at its edges. It's going berserk. There's not much time left to gain followers is what I'm trying to say. So if you ever had an inkling or a want to become a influencer or a popular social media figure of some time is running out. Time is getting thin. It's getting so thin, and razor thin time is recently for the United States of America to holding on by a snail's dick, holding on by an ant's eyelash, holding on by a teddy bear's titty. It's the United States of America is still holding on though. There's multiple ways of looking at it. The United States is still together. We are still a country, and it is in chaos though. Could it be more chaos, though? Thank goodness it's not. You're hearing lots of stuff being thrown around about it was a coup. Biden got pushed out. It was a coup. So I guess I learned recently there can be things other than military coups. There can be just like coups where people are like, get out of here. Stop it. We don't want you here anymore. You need to step down, old man. We got this lady. It's her turn. It's a lady's turn to be president. Throw in there. See how she does. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me what happens one way or the other. Who knows? It's all a clusterfuck. It's a big clusterfuck. It truly is. It truly is a clusterfuck. It is wild. I've been listening to some podcasts that are a bit conspiratorial, and they have been shaking me in my boots. My boots and me are shaking quite a bit from these conspiracy podcasts I've been listening to. But it is kind of fun. Conspiracies, particularly about war, like a civil war. Who was it? Someone on Patrick Bet-David's podcast talking about the different conditions or steps to where a nation falls or a nation gets into civil war. And we're in that fourth one or whatever. I don't know. I'm not good at recalling information. My brain is like I don't know. I can't quite squeeze my brain for all the juice that it has sometimes. There's juice in my brain and I just can't quite get to that juice that I want, that juicy, just that part of my brain. It's locked off sometimes and I can't quite figure out how to unlock it. Is it all the drugs I've done in my life? Is it do I think too hard sometimes? Is that it? Am I just a hard thinker? That could be it. It could be any number of one of these things is why my brain juice is locked up and I am unable to squeeze it out. Any number of these things, but alas, we persist and we try to get the brain juice out of there, but I don't know. Man, Donald Trump must be scared. He must be shaking in his boots. He almost died. If I were DJT, I would be scared of that happening again. I would be scared of more political violence happening because I don't know. Some of the podcasts I've been listening to are talking that it's like an inside job, which Yeah, I can believe it being that. Based on all the evidence that's coming out, I could believe it being an inside job. I could believe that them ousting Biden being an inside job. Our government, it is fun living, encroaching onto oligarchy or whatever you call it, an oligarchy. That's what it feels like we're in. But it also feels like things are still fine. Is that what it feels like when you're in a nation that's going from democracy, capitalism, a republic, going cartwheeling into autocracy, oligarchy, dictatorship? We're not there. We're definitely not there. Because it would be obvious. Or maybe it wouldn't. You know, when people were... There's been a lot of stuff I've seen about Germans during Hitler's time where it's just like, we didn't see it coming, and then it came. Or like there's a lady going, Barbara Walters or someone, I heard this on a podcast. Welcome to the podcast where I repeat what I heard on other podcasts. It's good to be here. Today I'm going to tell you about Barbara Walters. And the one thing I know about her that I heard on another podcast the other day, and what I heard about Barbara Walters was that she would visit countries that were in the midst of a civil war. Like bang, 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 bang. Against each other, brother against brother, citizen against citizen. She would visit places that were amidst a civil war, and the common theme that she would ask people she'd be like, "Oh, what's going on? What's happening here?" She'd say, "Did you see? What's your take?" And the number one thing was they said they didn't see it coming. It came out of nowhere. And if a civil war were to happen in the United States of America, I do think it wouldn't be a surprise. I don't think it'd be a big surprise. I don't want it to happen, but at this point, it wouldn't be the biggest surprise. I think some people want it to happen. You know, the elites with all their grubby paws, Guys, you have so much. Here's my plea to the elites. You have so much already. Just chill. Just chill. What do you need with power? What more can you do that you haven't already done? Are you trying to... what is the point of controlling populations to your women fancy to do don't you have a Rolls Royce? Don't you have Gucci slip-on blood bottoms? Don't you have Louboutin underwear? Don't you have Chanel shoulder pads in your Louis Vuitton blazer? Don't you have all these things? Don't you have a diamond encrusted pony? Don't you have a sapphire eating dolphin, a one of a kind dolphin that eats sapphires and poops out even better sapphires? Don't you have all the stuff you want? Pinata filled with nanobots that when you crack open the pinata, the nanobots enter your body and they eat any and all illnesses, cancer, leukemia. You're constipated. It eats up everything and makes your body so regular. It makes your body more regular than it's ever been. Isn't that all you need? Now, play euchre, play golf, go on a sailing trip. You could do anything you want, and you want to tell people what to do. That's lame. That's stupid. That's boring. Make these people do that. Make those people do this. These people believe that. Those people believe this. Make them mad at each other by influencing the media. It's just a game. It's just a game. That's all us regular folks are to the elites, are game pieces, and they're playing a game with us. And it doesn't. I mean, it feels like we're in a game, but it doesn't feel like I'm being directly controlled. I still feel like I have some choice, but I wish there was more transparency. Color me stupid, but I wish there was more transparency and more honesty. And I wish billionaires would say, "Hey, how can we help?" instead of, "Hey, give me that. Give me that. Did it. I should have got that." It's just, it's a wreck. Things are a wreck right now. You know, this could be the last election ever. I mean, it is gearing up to be whoever wins, Kamala Harris, Donald J. Trump, one former president, one former vice president, square off in this this rendition of Slap Fight. That's what we should do. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris should have a slap fight. And the winner gets to be president. It seems only fair. It seems like, things come in waves. And humans, we really have evolved to a pinnacle of behavior and, elegance and, being beyond that of weapons of war. We're beyond that, but now I think we're coming back down, and eventually we're going to go back to fighting each other with our hands. We're going to be fighting each other with our hands. Winner gets that job. If you have competition for a job, you bare knuckle box them, winner gets that job. That seems like where we're headed. No guns, no knives, no killing. No one needs to die, but it feels like we're going from we're going from debates about, I'm better at golf than you. That's a very important debate. I don't think that was the time to have that debate, but it is an important debate to have. I do think Trump is a better golfer. Did you see that Bryson DeChambeau break 50, whatever it was? Bryson DeChambeau and Donald Trump did a little YouTube thing and went crazy numbers. Went dummy viral. Did crazy numbers on YouTube. Oh my God, did crazy numbers. And it was kind of nice to see Trump in a non-political setting. It was nice to see him act regular. And he's actually a decent golfer. He's better than me. And I'm the best. I'm the best at everything I do. Who are we kidding? I'm the best at stuff. I'm the best. I'm the fastest. I'm the quickest. And don't get it twisted, sister. There's a difference between fastness and quickness. Fastness is like a straight line. Fastness is in a straight line. Quickness is like side to side juking abilities and like moving at sporadic, random things very quickly. That's quick. I did define the word quick with the word quickly, but I think you get the idea. You know who's not quick? Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Neither of them are quick because they're old. And I think that what will resonate about Kamala Harris is that she is not almost 80 years old. I think that is a points for her for not being 80 years old. That is good. And then other stuff aside, I think her speeches are they're bad. They're very bad. They don't make sense. It sounds like someone meandering through something trying to kill time. It's like you didn't fall out of a coconut tree yesterday. Everything you've ever been is what you are now, all formed into one. You don't just be what you are at that moment. It's the experiences that you are. Because listen, you used to be small and now you're big. And the thing about being big is you can overpower things that are small. But that's the thing, with responsibility comes great power. And great power, you could overpower things smaller than you, but you don't. Because you've been around on this earth long enough to remember one time you were small too. And when things bigger than you overpowered you, that made you feel bad. And feeling bad, you hold on to that. You hold on to that in your soul, in your bones, and it rots you to the core. And if you go your entire life holding on to all the bad things that happen to you, eventually one day it's going to burst out of you and you're going to take it out on a puppy or a kitty cat or your partner or the cashier at AutoZone because she can't fucking ring shit up fast enough and you got to get to a job. That's what happens if you don't have perspective. Perspective is the important thing in life. It's important to have perspective going forward towards the things you want to achieve, the people you want to please, but don't be a people pleaser. Do it for the right reasons. Do it for the right reasons because you realize taking steps in a forward direction is the opposite of backwards. The opposite of backwards is forwards, and where we're going forwards, not backwards. Forwards, not backwards. I'll say it one more time because it's important that I repeat it to you right now out of my mouth, my lips to your ears. My lips, your ears Are you sitting down? Are you standing up? Are you sitting cross-legged? Are you crisscross applesauce? Are you downward dog? Upward dog? Can of baked beans position. Any way you're sitting, listen to me right now. Listen to me, my lips to your ears. We're not going backwards. We're going forwards. Because I'm Kamala Harris, and I'm running for president of the United States of America. I've been vice president. Why not let me do the next thing? Vice President sans vice. President of the United States of America. Oh, that's what it's like. Honestly, I haven't listened to her give a lot of speeches. The only opinion I have of her is listening to Tim Dillon talk about her or some other people talk about it. I haven't listened to her do a lot of speeches. I'm sorry. Apology accepted. Thank you. Thank you. I have been on the internet more than usual lately. I've been on TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels, all the Reels and TikToks. I've been on them, exploring them more. And I don't like when people are mean to my videos. And if you could stop doing that, I would appreciate it because it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel dumb. It makes me feel very dumb, and I do think I should clear the air in regards to, I posted a video today, July 24th, 2024, where I installed a new mailbox recently. Easy job. Lickety-split, I got it done. But I've been filming my work lately. I filmed me screening in an entire porch. It was a big job. It was for me, a big chunk of change job, and I got it done. I filmed a lot of it. That will be out on my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts soon. But I did a shorter one after that where I installed a new mailbox. And I taped it, and it's going to be a 4-part series. I released one today on Instagram and YouTube, and I released 2 on TikTok because TikTok seems to not mind being spammed as much. But if you post too much on Instagram, they punish you by not sending your video out into the algorithm. They don't even give it a chance. That's what it feels like, at least. If you spam Instagram punishes you for some reason, even though the point of Instagram is to post and put content out there. They don't want too much content because they want quality over quantity. Here, Instagram, why? Why do you care? At least that's my experience. That's what I've noticed. I'm a nobody. I'm nothing. I got not even 2,700 followers. It doesn't matter what I do. My shit doesn't get out there. It doesn't go far. But, so, what all that was that I just said, what I said all that for, the reason I said all what I just said, coffee time, was because I'm posting a 4-part series, the first part of my mailbox video. I uploaded it today, and it's like cuts, a bunch of jump cuts of me installing the mailbox, and then I narrate it while I talk about installing the mailbox. Give me a second to get my words right. Sometimes I can't get words. You want to know how I got these scars? My father was a stinker. That's my Joker impression. Thank you very much. But I posted it, and in there, in the voiceover, I'm like, here's something along the lines of, here's a cool tip. Go to Lowe's, buy you a posthole digger. Use it once and return it. You can do that. And you can't, I don't know if I don't think it's illegal. It's frowned upon, I guess. But there were a few people online that said it was unethical and I'm a bad guy for doing that. And I don't agree with those things. I don't agree with that. I'm not stealing the posthole digger. I borrowed it. And I let Lowe's hold on to $70. That was the collateral if I didn't bring it back. Okay, that's a typical arrangement. Now, yes, I could have gone and rented one. I don't know if Lowe's rents out posthole diggers. We don't know this. They don't, because Lowe's doesn't rent. Home Depot rents. Home Depot has the rental center. Lowe's does not. So what did you want me to do, guy that was mad at me, calling me, he said I was racist because of something I said that could be conceived as racist. I'll explain in a second. And he called me Someone called me a bum, which, hater, you're a hater. That's your, I'm trying to save myself some money. I'm moving to Austin, Texas soon. Cut me some slack, you friggin' jerk. He doesn't know that, though. I shouldn't call him a jerk. Ugh, sorry. But then someone called me, said I made a racist comment. And the comment was, so I dug my hole. And then I took my camera and shined it in the hole. And I said, you gotta check your hole. Make sure you didn't dig to China. Because then if you did, a bunch of Chinese guys would climb up through the hole and ruin your hard work. Is that so racist to say if I dug a hole to China, a bunch of Chinese guys would climb out of the hole and mess up my hole? No, I don't think that's racist at all. If you dug to China, who do you think most likely would climb out of the hole you dug to China? What kind of people, if you dug to China, would climb out of the hole that is to China? Okay, it's not going to be Italian guys, because they're living with their parents until they're 40 years old. That's just the word on the internet. It's not even probably not even going to be Japanese. There's billions of Chinese guys, okay? It's probably going to be a Chinese guy that climbs through the hole I dug to China. They got to check it out. They're going to be curious. You have a hole all of a sudden open up from the other side of the world, a straight shot, and you're telling me you're a Chinese guy, you're not going to inspect it. You're going to say, hey, Swedish guy, go in that hole. And he would say it in Chinese or Mandarin, whatever. And I don't know Mandarin. And I'm not going to do a Chinese accent because that would probably be racist. But there's more racist things than doing an accent. Let's be honest. There's more racist, hateful things that you can take part in than doing an accent of another race, especially if you do it well and and it sounds just like that ethnicity with an American accent doing English, but they have their accent from their native tongue. That's more impressive than racist. That's cool. If you're a white guy and you can do a spot-on Chinese accent, sure, it sounds racist. But there's this guy, Des Bishop. He is a New York City comic, and he speaks fluent Mandarin. And I saw him at the Comedy Cellar when me and I helped Angel move in. We went to the Comedy Cellar, and Des Bishop spoke Chinese, and he did it very well. But it does sound racist, I will admit, when a white guy speaks Chinese. Those are just the facts. That one seems off limits. It sounds like a very hard language to learn. It's one of the hardest, apparently. So is English, apparently. I would like to know another language. I would like to be fluent in another language. That's so cool. I was in New York City. Not to brag, I was in New York City. This is the time I helped Angel move in. We went to get Mexican, and she started speaking Spanish to the server. I did have a racist slip of the tongue the other day. I said we were in a restaurant, and Angel was speaking Mexican to the server, and that's funny, a funny accident because it's Spanish, not Mexican. I know that. I'm not dumb, but sometimes I feel dumb. But Angel started speaking Spanish to the server. And I was like, that's sexy. That is sexy. Being bilingual, that's one of the sexiest things you can be. That's one of the sexiest, most impressive things you can be. Speaking multiple languages, fluent in multiple languages. Oh, tie me up, throw me in the bed of a pickup truck, drive me to a river, push me in the riverbed, leave me for the leeches. Let the leeches take me. Let the leeches devour me whole. They're hungry. They're so hungry, the leeches. Being bilingual is very cool. Maybe I'll learn someday. What should I learn? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. Shoot me a line. Shoot me a text at 911. Let me know what language I should learn. But there's so many options. There's Chinese, Spanish. The likely candidate is Spanish. My girlfriend speaks Spanish. I ought to learn a little Spanish as well. Leches manzanas. Es leches no aquí. Mi mamá es no muti. That's German for mother. Whoops. I know a tiny, tiny bit of Spanish. Specifically, I know milk. Mother. Not here. No aquí. Apples. I know apples as well. Milk, apples, manzanas, leche, tres leche. Not a big fan of, let's be honest, tres leches cake. You guys a fan of tres leches cake? I don't know. It's kind of, it's wet. It's wet cake. I don't, I like my cake moist. I don't like it sopping wet. Tres leches cake, it's like a cake that you dipped in milk. It's sopping wet. It's like a cake you let soak up a bunch of milk. I don't know if I like that. It looks like you just set cake down in a bowl full of milk and the cake sucked up all the milk that was in the bowl. Like the milk was thirsty. I mean, the cake was thirsty. The cake was thirsty for milk. And then the cake got tired because it drank so much milk. Oh, I hate when my cake gets tired because it drank all the milk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, one day I will learn another language, and it will probably be Spanish. And then I will use it. I will use it in evil ways. Okay? If I'm going to learn another language, I'm going to use it in evil ways. I've held this opinion for some time. I went to a bachelor party over the weekend and it was fun, but I also didn't feel, I felt a little bit, I didn't quite feel a part of, I felt kind of like a loser for many different reasons. But I was talking to one person there and I was saying like, I think it's good to be nice and be kind to people. And he said, I'm done with that, being nice to everyone, which you can't be. I think he knew what I meant, but he was just being conflictory. He was playing devil's advocate. And sometimes playing devil's advocate comes across as mean because here's what he was saying. He's going to be more real, which is honestly, there is some agency, some validity to being more real with people. I do think not enough people are real because being real with people is hard. It's being honest. I think by real, he meant honest. Being real is kind of like the mean version of being honest. And it is hard to be honest with people sometimes. It is hard to tell someone the truth that, hey, this thing about you, you're not going to like it, but I got to tell you because I'm your friend. And I could be better at it. I could be better at my friends that have bad, stinky breath. I could tell them, hey, you got bad, stinky breath. You need to brush your teeth. You need to floss your teeth. You need to use some mouthwash. You need to brush twice a day. Maybe, and at the very least, floss and use mouthwash once a day. At the very least. That's my plan of attack for brushing my teeth, my dental hygiene. And I'm not perfect. Not every day I brush my teeth at night. Not every day. Some nights I say, Taylor, you've earned not getting up out of this bed and brushing your teeth because brushing your teeth does take forever. It takes so dang long, and I wish we could figure out a way to make it not take so long. It only takes 2 minutes, but it feels like it takes forever because you got to get up out of comfy nighttime mode. And nighttime mode it's usually in your bed. It could be in a chair, but it's a place where if you get up, it's going to mess up the entire feng shui, the entire energy, the entire just vibe of your being. It will mess all that up. Oh, a big sip of coffee. Some nights it is okay. Some nights it's okay to not brush your teeth as a little reward for getting into bed late and not wanting to get out of bed again. Sometimes that's okay. At least I think it is. You cannot think it's okay. Clearly some people on the internet disagree with how I do stuff, and that's fine. But when something is written down, it's written down on the internet, you see it written in words, it seems so much more seriouser. It seems so much more dire. And it's really not. It's one person's opinion. Because going back to the thing I was saying about buying something from Lowe's, using it once and returning it. I've done it A few times. I've done it 3 times probably. Twice with a post hole digger, and once with a it's a drill, but it has sockets on the end. Good fart. I can't remember the name. Hold, please. I just had to stop and take my mid-podcast pee. It was successful. It was a successful mid-podcast pee. It always is. It always comes out flawlessly. I've only had blood come out of my penis once. And that's a day we'll never forget. That's a day we will remember forever and ever. And I think what it was, not to get too gross, but I think I had satisfied my needs. I masturbated, and then some cum dried on the tip of my penis, and then when I peed, it split the tip of my penis a little bit. It was fine. It wasn't blood from the inside, it was blood from the tip. I'm convinced of that. I'm convinced it was fine because no blood ever followed. No blood ever happened once again. It was just one time where blood came out of the tip of my penis. It's not a big deal, you guys. I didn't need to go to the doctor. The doctor would have told me to suck it up. Not the blood, not suck the blood back into my penis. Your body makes more blood, right? Like when you lose some blood, your body produces more blood. It's not like you have a finite amount of blood. Can you imagine if you did, though? How would you measure it? How would you make sure you still have the right amount of blood in your body? These are all questions that can be answered. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not ever. But they can be answered. Questions like, how many mice is too many mice? What did come first, the chicken or the egg? And how do you think that chicken felt when he was born? If it was the egg, if the egg came first from the chicken or the egg, that first chicken must have been like, whoa, what the fuck am I? He must have been confused. Because chickens are dinosaurs. We all know that. And chicken came out, and he's surrounded by velociraptors and little smaller velociraptors and bigger velociraptors, the ones with the big head and the little short arms in the front, and then velociraptors with the long necks and the long tails, and the song from Jurassic World that went a little bit like this. When you see the big, long, tall, the biggest velociraptors there were. Dinosaurs were, crazy how big they were. How was it even things that existed? Dinosaurs. Was gravity really that big? Is that why they were so big? Because gravity was ginormous? Must have been. But it's just the Earth. We've switched topics drastically, and that's okay. Enough political talk. Enough talk about my penis. I didn't even want to talk about that. I didn't even want to talk about it, but you asked. I didn't want to talk about my penis, but alas, we did. It can't be undone. Sure, I could edit it out, but that would be un-American to edit something out. That would be going against what it means to be a cold-blooded machine. What it means to be a cold-blooded machine that eats flies with his tongue. That's a lizard, but what's the difference between me and a lizard, really? Our DNA is probably very similar. Someone's like, 23andMe, me. Oh, I'm 3% lizard. Yeah, no shit. Lizards have bones. You have bones. You gotta be 2% lizard. You gotta be. It's DNA on the DNA level. On the ethnic level, I'm 2% Italian. I don't know if you know that about me, but I'm 2% Italian. And I've been letting it out. No, I haven't. I've been a real big pussy lately. I've been a real big pussy when it comes to speaking my mind, telling people how I feel, because I feel like shit. Sometimes I feel like shit. I think it's because I've been taking too much kratom. I'm going to get off the kratom. It's not doing me any good. I took way too big a dose last night, and it made me sleep bad, and it makes me not myself. And I think it makes me, all I want to do is take kratom and chill out. And I don't want to accomplish the goals I want to accomplish, which is do this podcast, edit some videos, put them online. That, pretty much those two things. write jokes, watch YouTube videos. That's all I do when I take a big healthy dose of kratom is I watch YouTube videos. And for a minute there I was making reaction videos on Instagram, but everyone hates those. But one of them did get like 10,000 views. I'm in Instagram jail, I'm convinced. I'm convinced I'm in Instagram jail. It's probably my content isn't good enough to go viral. But I wonder if it's this. I'm not even going to say that because I don't want my phone to hear and then Instagram gets mad at me again. Which I don't know if Instagram ever got mad at me, but I will keep it to myself. So, it's been a fun episode so far. It's been good. I feel like I've gotten into the zone, the flow state zone, the zone that I need to enter in order to feel like I can rattle stuff off out of my skull and rattle off. But, doing a solo one podcast is much harder than with someone else. It's not easy doing this. It's not hard. It's a different kind of hard. It's a brain hard. You gotta focus. It's like having a conversation, a dialogue with one's self for an hour or so. And that's not easy because it's easy to get hung up on like, I don't know what to say. It's weird to get nervous by yourself, but it's something I used to feel when I did audition videos for acting jobs. I would get this level. It's self-conscious, but in a dumb way. So it feels even dumber than being self-conscious because being self-conscious in a group, like speaking in front of a group of people, that makes sense. That's some people's biggest fear is public speaking. It's not mine. Mine is, as I've said before, loved ones suffering and dying. I hate that. I hate that, the very idea of that to my soul, to my bones. But maybe not. Maybe I don't feel that way. Maybe I'm a bad guy like that one person said on TikTok. They said it was a YouTube comment. They said I was a bad guy. They said I was a bad guy because I was unethical for using a postal digger once and returning it. And then also because I said the Chinese guy thing. And then they said I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad person. Everyone's mad at me on the internet. And doesn't matter. You make a video and post it and don't make a little racial joke and then also cop to the fact that you bought something, used it once, returned it. You make a video where you don't do that, then come to me. Then come to me on your moral high horse. Nay! It's all good. Everything's fine. None of it really, truly even matters one little speck of a bit. Not one little speck of a bit. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. We're moving to Austin, Texas, August 5th. And I'll move in August 7th. It's going to be a 2-day drive. Angel's going to fly down from New York City. I'm going to see Angel this weekend. We're going to Las Vegas. We're doing a show on Friday. And then we're seeing Mariah Carey. Fuck you. It's going to be fun. I'm going to spend time with Angel, not for Mariah Carey. Her brother had an extra ticket. And so I'm going to go to Mariah Carey. I've never been to Vegas before. I'm excited to see Las Vegas. And do a show, a comedy show, a stand-up comedy. Can you believe I still do that? My Instagram would beg to differ that I don't still do stand-up comedy, but it's been easier for me to pump out the podcast clips and the work clips. It's easier for me to pump those out on a regular basis because I haven't been booked lately on shows because I need to get better. Let's be honest. I need to get better. Is something that's been apparent. I'm good at comedy sometimes, but also sometimes I'm not because I have a weird style and it is a long road though. I was texting with Casey Rocket, who has blown up and is basically famous now, at least in the Kill Tony sphere. And he was saying it's a long road and just to embrace the suck and make as many friends as I can. And that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm moving to Austin, Texas. I got sidetracked. I'm moving to Austin, Texas, August 5th. And I am excited. I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for a shift in my soul, my artistic soul, my creative soul, my general soul. I'm ready for something different. I'm ready for something I'm going to get there. It's going to be, I'm sure I'll feel scared or lonely at times. It'll be nice to have Angel help me move. But I mean, let's think about it this way. I'm moving to Austin, Texas. I'm moving there for stand-up comedy. That's why I'm moving to Austin. And I will get there and I immediately will. I have a show already lined up. I might have some other shows lined up, but then I'll just pound the open mics and I'll make friends. Find your tribe. That's what Casey said. He said, find your tribe. And that's what I'll do. I'll find the tribe of people that are my friends and I'll figure it out. It'll take a couple months to get settled and find the tribe of people. But handyman stuff, I can just go there and start doing that easily. I'm not scared about not finding work. That's not a problem. I think the only thing that will be daunting or scary is just the amount of comics that have probably moved there. But it feels like the right move for me. Atlanta, for me, has been good, but I haven't felt the love here. If I'm being honest, I haven't felt the love. And maybe that's on me. Maybe that's a selfish way to look at it. Maybe I haven't earned the love, I'm not saying I'm worthy of praise and success, but you see certain people achieve things around you and then more of your peers achieve things around you. And then you start to feel like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not doing that these people are doing? And it's confusing and a little disheartening and kind of makes me sad when things don't go fully your way. That's life, though. It is a good lesson in life, but it's still actually I was told these things all growing up, all in college. You're told the Rolling Stones famously said, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. The Rolling Stones said that. But you don't always get what you want. You don't always get what you want, and that's good. That's for the best. And I don't know if I should take my one friend's lead, follow his lead, and start being more real with people. That's hard. I don't think that's me. Being real is not me. And by him being real, he's saying he's going to be real, but really he's just going to ignore people and walk out of the room when someone is in there that he doesn't like what they're saying. I don't think he's going to be straight up like, hey, bro, I don't like what you're saying right now. I don't like the cut of your jib. That joke you got to do. He did tell another comic that a joke, he should drop it, whatever. I'm not going to say who it is, but it is, I don't think that's me. I don't think that's genuinely me being 100% like real and like brutally honest with people. That doesn't feel like brutal. Honesty is hard. Honesty is good. It's good to be honest, but it's also hard to be honest. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm not, it's hard for me to break something to someone, even if I feel it in my bones, like a specific thing about them. It's hard for me to tell someone the truth if it is a negative thing, because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. So it comes from a place of the best intentions, but when does that need to stop, and when do I need to actually start telling someone maybe they have stinky breath? That's one I've noticed, and I don't want to hurt someone's feelings is the thing. And maybe that makes me a pussy. Maybe it makes me a pussy, but I don't like feeling, for the way I go around the world, I don't like being made to feel like I'm doing it wrong. And maybe I am. But some people are just kind of mean. Whatever. I don't know what that had to do with really anything. But nonetheless, we move along. I am going to head to a show here soon. Well, it's an open mic, but it is, it's like a pre-booked thing. And I'm going to go there. And I'm going to do comedy. I haven't done comedy since Thursday last week. And so we're due. We're truly due. So, sorry I've been gone. Apology accepted, probably. Doesn't matter. I've been busy. I went to a bachelor party. What else did I do? I got back from Ohio for July 4th, and then I came back, did the podcast with AJ, and then the last 2 weeks I've just been so busy trying to make money before I move. That's it. But I'm glad we got this one in. I think me and Drew Q, remember Drew Q? Used to do a podcast with him. We're gonna do a podcast tomorrow, or we're just gonna get dinner. If it's just dinner, that's okay. It'll be good to catch up. But we kind of stopped doing ours just because he had a baby, and that's tough. That's tough and I also am not in the same program as he is anymore. And that's probably not the reason it even ended. He had a baby. I'm busy. I'm moving. These things happen. Not all podcasts are meant to go forever. This one may not go forever. I had the thought today, because when I first started this, I was itching to do it, making sure I did it every week. And today I was like, maybe I'm done podcasting, but I'm not. I'm definitely not, because this is fun. It's fun to do. It's something to do. It's a way to put something out there, because stand up is what I want to do. But if that's the only thing I'm doing, I think I get a little disheartened. So, I've been exploring other avenues of expressing myself online, posting different kinds of Instagram Reels and TikToks and YouTube Shorts. It's always the same one, but just putting other stuff out there. I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. And things could change. I could also not do it could stop stand-up comedy. I could at one point stop and be doing something else, but I don't foresee it stopping anytime soon. Heck, I'm moving to Austin, Texas to do stand-up comedy. That's the only reason I'm going. Because it seems to be the comedy capital of the world right now. And I gotta go. I gots to go. Maybe it's not the right move for everyone, but it's the right move for me. So what do I want to leave you guys on? I want to leave you on some wise words that we can walk away from this thing saying we got something out of it. So in conclusion, I want to say sometimes you do something and you don't anticipate the reception it's going to get. And if it's a negative reception, maybe take a step back and look at it and figure out where maybe you were wrong, your part in this. And, it might make you feel like shit to look at it in that way, to view it from the context in the perspective of you were a little bit wrong. Okay, because maybe ethically it is wrong to buy a post-hole digger and use it once and return it. That's, I guess, wrong, apparently. Lowe's doesn't care. They probably do. Someone at Lowe's does care, but overall Lowe's will be okay, but it's ethically wrong, I guess. But I think more people are on my side than not. I think most people would agree that it's not that big a deal, but it's still good to be able to have both perspectives. It's good to have perspective in general all the time. And, I think my perspective is so very dangerously skewed sometimes. Sometimes it's so dangerously off, and I have no self-awareness at all. Maybe I am no longer in a place of self-reflection, that is maybe a fear I have is not going to AA anymore. I won't be as spiritual. I won't be as connected to having a changing perspective about how I interact in the world. Maybe I am starting to get blinded to my own selfishness and how I interact with others and how I could maybe be better and transmit more love into the world. But ultimately, deep down, I think I am a selfish being. I want what's best for me, and maybe sometimes I need to focus on what's best for others. But it's hard. Everyone's selfish, of course, but I have this fear that, a selfish, irrational fear that, am I so deeply selfish that the universe will never reward me with anything? Does that make sense? Or is that an insane thing to say, that I am so deeply selfish that the universe knows I'm a bad guy and the universe will never reward me with the things I want? I have everything I need, if I'm being honest. The universe has given me what I need. But there's things I want. And those are things I got to work for. I got to work for them. So take from that what you will. I hope everyone out there, I hope your life is going great. I hope you're achieving your goals. I hope your riches are coming to fruition. I hope you're full, not just in riches and finances, but in friends and family and character and pride and prejudice and the girl with the dragon tattoo. I hope all of those things are true for you. So go out there. Go get them. Seize the day. Carpe diem. Don't let the dogs out. Keep the dogs in. Keep the dogs in because the dogs get riled up. And as the dogs get riled up, ideas come to your brain and they come to fruition. And once you're ready to release those ideas, let the dogs out. Let the dogs out and let the ideas flow. So I hope that made sense. Bye.